As an industry expert who designs new factories, not in the olden times where when you entered a textile factory and come out, you come out as if you entered a snowstorm, because there was no regulations in those times. So, but currently a lot of regulations, so we have to do it in a sustainable way and an innovative way. So it's always a challenge for private companies to deliver all these promises. And then myself have been in the industry for the past 40 years. And then now currently I have worked in Asia, Africa, and then North America. Currently back to Africa in Benin in West Africa. So working for Arise Group. Arise Group is a Pan-African developer of industrial ecosystems, specializing in identifying. First thing is you have to identify industrial gaps in African continents and delivering tailor-made solutions for sustainable local raw material transformation. For example, main problem currently in West Africa or whole of Africa is, since morning, many people spoke about, transforming this raw material, but basic things like electricity is not available. So today, Nigeria, with 200 million people, produces 3,000 megawatts of electricity. How do we run any factory without electricity? That is the biggest issue today. If somebody asked me, when the owners of Arise asked us, can you start a factory, textile factory, a fully integrated factory? We only asked the question about, can you deliver electricity at 7 cents per kilowatt unit? Only then a textile company can be productive or profitable. So ultimately, these are the infrastructure missing puzzles in this for developing the whole value chain. So even simple things like this are creating a lot of headwinds for us to develop the industry. However, Arise Group is a pioneer in this, identifying the gaps, creating platforms for making solutions for transforming the locally available raw material. We are operating in 3 countries currently, and then the balance 6 countries, we are developing the platforms for basically converting raw materials. Our mission basically is to tackling unemployment in Africa. And we develop all the platforms through digitalization. Third major pillar of what we do is to contribute to fight the global climate change. These are the 3 major mission statements which we have in designing all of our platforms in Arise. So this is the important things. We take it in our mind and then follow through. Sustainable innovations in textile. So in West Africa, Arise is concentrating on developing, transforming the locally available cotton. 1.4 million tons. So somebody had to build a cat to start the first model factories. So we are the ones who have done that in a country where we are starting all the 3 projects as my colleague told you about in the morning. So we are starting 3 integrated textile factories, units, 4 training centers are already running, and then these are all being done in the matter of 2 years. So we'll be completing all these innovative projects, new projects by 2024. So sustainability is one of the main pledges which we make in designing all our projects from the concept to implementation. And in line with the United Nations SDG. These are the 2 major initiatives which we always take in mind before designing any factory. Apparel, and then we are also members in most of the sustainable initiative agencies like AAFW, Textile Exchange, and the LEEDS certificate. All the textile projects which we have designed till now, I'm doing the designing, implementation, planning, and putting up the factories, are based on 3 major pillars. The textile projects are mostly based on 3 major pillars, that is traceability, operational sustainability, and circularity. The 4th pillar also I would explain to you at the end of the presentation. That is something called durability. Why durability is also more important in the current scenario, you will see that at the end of the program. End of the presentation, sir. Traceability. Traceability, we use 100% CMIS certified cotton in all our operations. In Benin, we have around 350,000 tons of cotton available for transforming it in product. 100,000 tons approximately tons are now certified by CMIA. One of our shareholder now companies is also a major producer of cotton. So we buy only certified cotton, which will help us in developing or confirming that we don't use it is protecting the environmental requirements, labor and other human inputs which are taken care of and then certified. And then traceability. When it comes to traceability, we also use fiber trace to trace the fiber from the farm to the end product in the garment. We are using this company Fiber Trace, which pilots the traceability of the fabric, and also we use the blockchain in our ERP solutions to trace the complete products or the raw material from farm to end product in that. And also we label our goods depending on the whether it is organic or recycled products. This is the 3 traceability tools which we use to confirm the traceability. Then we come to the operational sustainability. The operational sustainability we divide into 2: social compliance. Social compliance, which means we are definitely doing ethical recruitment practices. Our workers are involved in all our activities, like, we allow unions to operate. We have leaders which we connect and speak to. Then we have our working conditions in our factories are completely beautiful. Most of our factories are completely air conditioned with the very good environment provided. Then we also prevent child labor and also forced labor. Grievance system is taken care of. We have vocational training schools in our factory, in our platforms, garment training schools, and also local entrepreneur development. That is also one of the major initiatives which we have taken care of now. The local entrepreneurs are one of the most important key in the whole picture, because we talk about 3 major things required to industrialization. One is electricity. Second one is the entrepreneurs. The local entrepreneurs we taken along with us. And then third one is education. Education we provide by the vocational training schools and the skill development which we have in our factories. Then the entrepreneur development scheme, we have created a separate entrepreneur development scheme to encourage the local small entrepreneurs to put the small factories in the value chain. Like they can make the buttons, they make the garments, they can make few other things like manufacturing, packaging industry. So the complete value chain is developed along with our major factories. So these are all the social compliance issues which we take care of. Then what comes next is about the environmental issues which we take care. So before you start any project, we do the complete ESIA assessments, and we make a ESMP plan, which is audited by with IFC standards. And then we also done life cycle assessment of all the products which we are making to make sure that our carbon footprints or the impact on the environment is minimal. So we make sure that the life cycle assessments are done in our products, and also aligning the management system according to ZSCC chemical management, basically. We also prevent global warming by efficient building, creating the buildings with the LEED certification, which means most of our buildings are either gold LEED certificate or a platinum LEED certificated buildings. And we go for the latest technology to reduce the requirement of energy. And in all our motors and the whole process, we use the latest technologies, the EC approved systems, enabling us to reduce our steam and electricity consumption. Automated systems for GHG. We monitor the global emissions, which is coming from our factory through the softwares which we have installed in all the machines. And all our rooftops is also with solar panels. So we capture the solar energy, and then we use most of the time solar or gas in our manufacturing processes. We never use coal or any other fossil fuel. The third most important pillar is circularity. In a textile mill, if you introduce 100 kilos of cotton in the spinning, ultimately you will land up with only 60 kilos of garment. This is the standard in the textile company. So what happens to the 40 kilos? The 40 kilos of raw material are cut. There are fiber waste, there are fabric waste, and then also garment cut waste. So all these wastes are definitely 100% recycled in our factories. So what we do is the fiber waste are taken to a different technology to make a lower grade yarn, and then we do that. There are very few, 2 to 3% of black waste of cotton will go as cattle feed, and then all the fibers are again reopened as fibers in mechanical reopening machines, and then we again mix it with polyester, recycled polyester, make completely a new factory with 100% recycled fibers or a recycled fabric in that particular factory. So nothing from our factory will go out to landfills. Similarly, a gentleman was just explaining about water usage in our dyeing and then departments. So as a company which has got from farm to fashion, which means we have to have processing also, dyeing facility also in our factory. The first factory approximately is producing 50 tons of fabric every day. So we use 3 million liters of water in that particular factory. So what we do is we have a system called zero liquid discharge, which means 95% of the whole system cleans the water. 95% of the water, around 2.5 million liters of water is pumped back into the factory after cleaning. The balance 5% is only topped up every day. So our water usage becomes so less, so which is completely environmental pressure. The dye is completely recovered from the ZLD system and then used back inside the factory. There are very few dye stuffs which go as a brick after drying, which will go to our kiln in our ceramic or cement industry for burning, because that has got the value. So the ZLD system promises complete recycling of water which you use in the factory. So the circularity, which means zero liquid discharge, and nothing goes out of our factory to the landfill. This is a promise which we have done. These are the 3-4 major promises which we have designed our factory, and then we are doing that. So what I was talking about durability is we have to also understand how we are impacting the environment, and then with our manufacturing process. Basically, whenever you see color, you think of pollution, because if you have color, it is so definitely synthetic. There is a pollution which is involved. So how much you are impacting the earth is the question which you have to ask all the time. So you do the life cycle assessment of all the things which you do. You produce a car, then you make a life cycle assessment of how it is impacting the or the environment. Similarly, we do the life cycle assessments. So we have the purpose of the life cycle assessment to study opportunities to reduce environmental impact, and then on all our products. This is the thing why we do that life cycle assessment, to see how we can reduce our impact. So during our study, we have engaged a French company called CO2 Logic to do our life cycle assessment. So basically what we are using is cotton produced in Benin. The textile manufacturing unit converts it into a fabric or the garment, and then it is exported to USA to a retailer. Then there is a use phase. Retailer uses this product, and then of course at the end of the cycle, then he throws away the fabric, and then we assess the complete impact of major impacting things in the study. So these are some of the results. If you see, so the first one is the global warming potential, the CO2 equivalent. So if you see, the polo shirt which we produce is 5.76, the towel which we produce is 16.4, and then the t-shirt, the round neck t-shirt is 4.29. So if you see, the violet part is the usage. The usage, that is approximately 77% in towel, and 51 in polo, and 51. So basically, if you see, and the green part is the cotton which is grown. That is the impact, because when you're growing the cotton, you use water, pesticides, fertilizers. So that is the part. So the manufacturing part itself is very small. People accuse a textile factory is that, you are the ones who are polluting the country or polluting the environment.
I'm sorry, Rama. We need to wrap up. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So these are the impacts. So what happens ultimately? Also about other impacts on acidification, eutrophication. So this is the main reason why you have to make the fabrics more durable. You have to use it more, less washing to help the environment better. So thing, and also I also want to show you one picture where when we use the Benin cotton cultivation, ginning, textile production, garmenting done in Benin, our CO2 impact is 1.9 kilos, whereas if you export the cotton from Benin to Asian country and raw material export, then you use coal as electricity to produce this thing, and then some chemicals from normal instead of ZSC, the total CO2 impact will be 4.9 kilos. So we'll have whatever we produce in Benin is almost like 60% reduction in the global warming potential. So this is another one. This is a picture which we wanted to discuss about. So very quickly, you can see when we transport Benin-made products to USA and Europe, every container, you will be saving something like 4.8 metric ton of CO2 impact. So this is the most important. When you take the fiber all the way to Asia, Chittagong or Indonesia or China, and then bring it back to Europe or to USA, the impact will be something like 4.8 metric ton per container of 25 tons. So it's a huge impact. So we encourage, this is the sustainable model which you have to follow, reduce CO2 emissions and save the planet and with sustainable way. So our projects have positive impact of reduced carbon emissions, create jobs, supply chain optimization, improved supply chain transparency, and also value addition to the country for their exports and also the GDP. Thank you for listening, and then this is where we start.